Good morning, everyone. I'm outside prepping some alpaca to spin, and I realized I've got a perfect learning opportunity for some people that have asked questions recently. So I'm going to do my best to explain what I'm doing and why, and see if I can't help a few others out along the way. I have some alpaca that I'm spinning to make hats with, and the alpaca I am picking and carding into bats to make it more pleasurable to spin. So let me go through some of the issues that I'm encountering while I pick through it. It has been washed with warm water and Blue Dawn once, just to get some of the extra dirt out. Alpacas love to roll in the dirt, and I'm just taking clumps of fiber as I come across it and putting it into the picker. The picker takes it from this clumpy presentation to a nice cloudy fluff, which will go straight into the carder. Okay, one of the first things I'm encountering is Kemp or guard hairs. These are very easy to pull out. You just grab them by the tips and they come straight out from the nice soft fiber. They're like human hair. They won't felt. They will make the spinning scratchy, so you want to get rid of as much as you can. Just pull it out, let it go in the wind. The birds will love you, and you're not losing anything spinnable or feltable. If you get a clump that is good fiber, just reach in and pull it out. So, way into the wind. And then I spread this tiny bit, drop it onto the picker nails, and start picking. As soon as I've amassed a clump of loose fiber on the other end, I just run it through the picker until we accumulate enough to pack it down with the burnisher. Okay, some of this is a much longer staple than the rest. You can see I've gone from about a 2-inch staple to a long, probably 5-inch staple here. I'm setting that aside to be processed separately. It has some loose VM in there that's going to have to be combed out. It would be very frustrating to spin that and be picking tiny pieces of VM out. So that goes separately. On to the next piece. A little bit of guard hair, pulling that out, dropping on top. Some pieces, if they're shorter than an inch, I will set them aside for dryer balls, felting, other things like that. Once I have picked the fiber, it's easier to see small clumps like that, the second cuts that would just get in the way of spinning. They'll cause little neps or clumps in your fiber as you spin it, so you want to get rid of those if possible. And the other thing you'll find is bits of coarser hair that aren't suitable for the garment that we're trying to spin for, the hat. So I just toss those aside. I save most of them for felting or making into a dryer ball, but many of them I just let go into the wind and the birds get lucky. If I encounter a clump of that kind of hair in the cloud of fluff on the other end of the picker, I set it aside for the feltable stuff. And here is a clump of coarser hair. It's getting set aside. There's some for the picker, picker minus some Kemp, felting. Get rid of the Kemp. Now I am calling this Kemp. Kemp is a sheep term, not an alpaca term. On alpacas, it's called guard hair. You always want to be extremely careful. The pickers have nails, the carders have spikes. Liquid Band-Aid is a good tool to have close by. I have some right inside the house if I need it. Okay, next clump. Nice fuzzy stuff. Fuzzy. Up, there's one second cut showing up off the top. And a little bit of VM. We'll just pull that when we spin. I'm not tracking how much volume I'm putting into the bat. You can for even spinning. I'm just spinning bobbins full and then plying it. So there we go. And since my liquor on the carder is now retaining fiber, I am going to burnish. And I have a wallpaper brush. I just hold it down firmly on top of the carder, rotate a few turns, and allow the carder to pick up the fiber that was stuck to the liquor. The liquor is the smaller drum in front of the carding cloth drum. And I grab another handful of fluff to process. Okay, this one's short. It's right at an inch. Setting it aside. Second cut. Pretty coarse. That'll go in. And you just want to feel your way through. Make sure there's no sticks or twigs, thorns, things like that. Alpacas can hide amazing things in their fleece. Okay, now here's some really nice crimpy fleece. That's what we really want. I'm trying to make the most out of this fleece and get a nice soft yarn. It's going to be a little bit coarser than I like out of an alpaca, but that is the characteristic of this fleece. And it is for a lady who wants hats made from her own fleece. So we will work with what we have. And sometimes the tips being discolored will be an indication of coarser fiber. You just have to use your judgment. A little stone, fluffy stuff. And it seems like the good fluffy stuff tends to have a lot of guard hair. When I spin, if I come across clumps of guard hair or guard hair sticking out, I will just pull it from the single or even the finished yarn. It sticks out just like a hair would, so you can pull it then. So, to load up the picker some more. That was what I wanted to show you, was how to recognize the guard hairs, that they can just be pulled out pretty easily. In fact, here's a big clump, and just lightly above the tips of the got a little bit of good fiber there. Above the tips of the good fiber, just pick it out, let it go into the wind. I'm sure there's a Frozen song reference there somewhere, but I've never seen that movie, so I don't know it. And if anyone watching this has a better method for getting rid of guard hairs, please let me know. I would love to have a faster method of preparing this fiber to spin. This is a crazy bee ranch picker. It's real small, convenient. I can carry it everywhere. Found it from a lady on Ravelry who just decided that fiber prep wasn't enjoyable for her, so she passed it on. I find Ravelry is the best way to find used fiber prep tools, and the people are always nice. I've never gone wrong on Ravelry. Of course, I keep alerts on Craigslist and other places. I have not had as much luck on Craigslist, but I still look. You have to. So that's just what I wanted to show you. And I can see second cuts more easily once they've been through the picker. They don't blend with the cloud of alpaca, so it's easy to pick them out at that point. And I have accumulated a bunch of fiber on the liquor, as you can see, so it's time to burnish again. Okay, once you have filled the carding cloth up to the top of the teeth, it's time to pull it off the drum, and I will show you how I do that. I just grab it with finger scissors there to try to keep fairly even tension all along the drum and pull it off. This is really loose. It's shorter prep than I'm used to, and the bat tends to fall apart right away. So the first thing I do is lay it on the table, roll it up tight to hold its form, and put it in my spinning basket. Next thing I do is come back to the drum, and with my there is a special name for this tool. It's not a flicker. It's the tool you use to clean the drum. I'll think of it in a minute maybe. I just give it a few swipes and get the loose fiber that stayed on the drum away from there to start the next bat. Sometimes I will blend it into the next bat with this. The fiber is so loose and unformed, I am simply rolling it into a bat-like structure and putting it in my spinning basket. Now, when I'm spinning this, because it is so loose, I'm wrapping it like a burrito in a length of tulle cloth, the fine mesh, so that it doesn't fly everywhere and disintegrate while I am spinning. And that has worked well for this. So I think that's all I can really show you. You'll get clumps of leg hair, other parts of the beast other than the blanket that we don't necessarily want to spin in this yarn. Just pull them out, set them aside. You can do something different with them. Dryer balls, felting, etc. Keeping a close eye for the guard hair. I'm not worried about getting every bit of it out. I'm just trying to get the large majority of the guard hair out. Okay. Pull some of this back and put it back through the picker Started loading it up without the top nail set in there. So make some more alpaca cloud, run it through the carder, and repeat. There you go.